All right, hello, how long gone? I'm Jason. Chris is here. We're in Glendale. I just got home from Burbank Airport.
It's a rare how long gone after dark. Jason's teeth and lips are a nice shade of purple from his Napa juice trip that he just returned from.
A lot of fruit. A lot of juice.
Unfortunately, we are recording this podcast at night, which is against my religion and all values. But it's not going to go drink champs style because Jason is drinking his usual coffee. He didn't bring home. Did you ship the cases back, or did you just weren't able to bring them on the JSX?
They were going to ship them back. They should be at the house by like Thursday or something like that.
Just in time for the holidays. Thank God.
On JSX though, you can bring it all. I brought some bottles of olive oil back, stuff like that. But I was by the end of the weekend. I couldn't look at another bottle of juice. I'll tell you that.
I'm just saying, you're like a fat baby.
Even like a fat baby. Even the 30-year Cab Sav. I just said not tonight.
So, as an outsider and non-drinker, I would love to discuss how obnoxious. Now, I know this is the motherland. This is like our version of France.
Yeah.
You know. So, how annoying is the wine culture versus the payoff of the juice being so good?
It's a pretty much a 50-50 wash, split down the middle.
Okay, so you're just drunk and nothing matters. Nothing is good, nothing is bad. It's just kind of whatever.
You kind of feel bad for them because there's no good way to do it. Because if you go to one of these winery tasting tour things, the person there, like the customer, is either going to care way too much or not care at all. There's no one is just like, oh, thank you for telling me about this wine. I drink it. It's yummy. It's always just like, oh, what am I supposed to do? It tastes like berries and this one is oaky. LOL. I don't know. Or you go into like, well, the 2001, there was that third extra day of rain. And, you can kind of get that on the finish.
I'm sorry, can you bring some soil over for me to finger? Or is this, so we're just tasting the actual wine tonight. Okay.
So
noted.
There's always, as a wordsmith, I was paying close attention.
Did you pick up some new vocabulary?
Yeah, I mean, there's little anecdotes and words that people said, just like in every other culture, to sort of, to show.
Because I know that you're on the record as one of your favorite movies of all time being Sideways.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, I wasn't with you this weekend. You were with Carolyn, so I feel like you couldn't relive it completely. But did you rent a car or no?
I did cheat on her with an Asian sommelier.
I did cheat on her with a sommelier in a low budget hotel room off the highway.
Yeah,
Napa's magic. I mean,
I had to leave the Saab up there.
The Saab needed an oil change. I couldn't get back. I
couldn't really. I mean, I get the problem was like you really need to go there with your partner because there's not much else going on. It's not like you're going to go as a single person and check out the talent at all these places.
Sure,
it's not going to happen.
It ain't the nice guy on a Friday night. It's not.
I mean, at a certain point in the world, yes, but in 2022, every winery you go to, everyone has like their dog stroller and their kids and their picnic baskets. And
so on a scale of 1 to 10, excluding my sobriety from this conversation, how much would I hate this?
Well, it's actually pretty Chris forward because of the hours. Because like everyone there wakes up early, and you do most of your stuff in the daytime in the afternoon. And especially now with daylight savings, like the sun sets at 4:30.
So it's a blue eye crowd.
Kinda. I mean, the blue eyes are very bloodshot, but
of course,
and the blue and the red, of course, combine to make a nice Pinot, a nice Pinot shade.
It is a blend. Actually, it is a blend.
It's a blend. So, like every night, I was reminded of Chris because you go out all day. You drink 10 bottles of wine, and you
because you're not spitting
cheese.
like a little baby. You're just sucking it down the juice.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a thoroughbred, so I can handle my
but
liquor.
I thought the spitting was more of a not just a performative act, but I thought it was I thought it was more of like a I thought it was like a taste thing. You're saying people are just bitch made and they can't drink wine all day, so they got to spit it out and get a little grape on their teeth.
The only time I saw people spitting it out were the people that worked there that kind of had to do it all day long.
Okay.
So, and they're like, well, I have to drive this golf cart around.
Sure. And my Escalade golf cart to the other vineyard is going to get a little swervy if I don't slow down.
Brought to you by Lexus.
Okay, they had to slow down.
So like, you know, if you're doing 17 tours a day and there's 10 bottles each, you just can't do it.
So, did you reach though with that much drinking, and also it looked like you were really putting away some food, which we don't need to discuss if you don't want to.
God.
But I saw the tomahawk the size of my fucking teardrop fucking quad. Now, are you able to get absolutely smacked? Or is the amount of food being eaten, and of course, I don't even want to bring up the cheese plates, is that, I mean, unbelievable selection. And I'm sure there's a nice chutney on the side as well.
This is a corn spice.
But I'm saying, are you able to get twisted like it's 12 vodka sodas?
No.
You're not.
No,
so
you're
you
not.
just basically are drinking all day, kind of feel like shit, continue to eat, so you never feel that good.
Well, no, I mean, you feel warm and fuzzy the whole time. You kind of have to turn that part of your brain and body off where you commit to it and you're like, I'm just going to be drinking all day and eating cheeses and charcuteries and things like that. And it's fine, but there are actual like bars where you can get you know, hard alcohol and people do turn up. But I think like the party crowd there, they'll drink wine all day. And then at a certain point, they kind of switch over to the hard stuff. They start sipping their browns.
I feel like just because of the large concentrated amount of service people, big Coke town,
huge Coke town.
I knew it. True. I knew it. Because you know, if you're pouring wine for obnoxious people from LA all day, nothing you want to do more than tuck into a nice little baggie and a fucking Johnny Walker Blue after those people go back to the hotel.
If you can't beat them, join them. Cocaine. Yeah, we were talking to a master som, actually, that we were friends with.
Was his palate blown out from tooting too much?
No, but, you know, I was asking him, like, so do all sommeliers here do cocaine? And he was like, yeah, more or less, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, actually, Chief, yeah, we do, kind of. Wouldn't you?
Yeah, because I think what you want to do is complain about the locals. Well, I mean, you want to be a local that complains about the tourists, but also that was the biggest conundrum of the valley that we discussed, which was all the locals there are very protective of it, and they go to more drastic measures than I've ever seen before. One example, restaurants and bars and places like that are really, really popular and just super good and delicious, but they're sort of started as like a pet project by some like rich, you know, millionaire landowners. They just like want to do it, and then it gets so big, and then it turns into, you know, a Courage Bagel situation.
Sounds like this podcast, actually. I see a parallel here.
Yeah, you start having to manage, you know, you're bailing water out of the boat because it's just everyone wants to hop on. So restaurants will change their names and encourage local residents to leave 1-star Yelp reviews to keep people away. This
is fire. Okay, I'm back now.
So
anytime there's some lying to the general public because you're making too much money, and I'm sure the food and art is suffering when the line is out the door and your Applebee's style buzzer, you know, only works within a 1 mile radius. So they're saying that a popular restaurant will change the name and encourage their friends and locals to give it a negative review to keep people like you out.
Yes, exactly. Because, and I think the money part, like you said, they're making so much money. That's not the issue.
Because it doesn't matter.
The issue is they already have a lot of money, and they're doing this because they thought it'd be a cool idea.
Yeah.
They're like, man, you make the best fried chicken I've ever had in town, or the best whatever. And they start selling it to their friends, and it takes off. And then suddenly, you know, there's 100 people lining up.
Suddenly, there's 14 Mac DeMarcos waiting in line for some smoked salmon on a Tuesday morning, and I'm a little hard
and it's
done by.
And it's like, we're not having fun anymore. Yes, we're making a lot of money, but like, my
this
life
is not what I don't need money. This is not what I intended. So let me ask you this: just because we all know your stance on Italy and the food there, a popular foodie destination.
Yeah.
Napa, another obviously known for its juice and grapes and fruit, also known for it as a culinary destination. You have to pair something with the wine to kind of make it through the night.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. So on a hopefully outdoor fire where you can cook over it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you rating the vittles in Napa? Is it merely to be paired with wine, or can the food stand alone?
Oh, the food is way better than in Italy.
Okay. So you're saying...
But that's my hunky palate, of course.
Yeah, but I don't think Italian food is necessarily a palate exploder. You know, it's not like it's some sort of delicacy. It's fucking pasta, you know.
Palate exploder. Yeah,
that's our new food podcast, Palate Exploder. We did a little deal with NPR. We'll tell you guys more about it later.
We take a look under that.
Because I saw the American fare on your extremely small Instagram story. The checks were getting tiny.
I know.
And I appreciate that. But I'm kind of over the food and wine because there's some other stuff that I would like to tackle about this trip that's a little more important. And I'm sure you received some feedback on this already. But this was the debut of the size 17 Uggs. Is that right?
Yes.
Because I think this is a big step for you. Because as looking, like you said, being an NBA player without any of the skills, finally you're starting to tiptoe into the dressing. And you've left Amiri at the Real, but you said, Ugg, come on over to this side.
Yeah, I mean, it just felt right.
Sure, I agree.
I had been flirting with the Ugg a little bit, and now that, I'm able to afford something like that without having to really think about it.
You're welcome.
It was sort of
I gave you a bonus for this weekend because I wanted you to be able to stunt on your old friend,
And I took advantage of the Black Friday sales, of course.
You guys check out Zappos for Black Friday. Use code how long at checkout.
Yeah, it was,
and let's just set the tone. Let's set the stage. This is a classic quarter, 3/4 Ugg booty.
It was a half cab.
No stacked heel like the popular Bella Hadid model. This is strictly a classic.
I didn't need to stack the heel with my height.
Of course.
But yeah, the same style that you would see Bella wearing.
Okay, and how were these? Obviously, you were only with a small group of people you knew. Were you getting curious looks from other wine sippers, or did you fit right in?
Not a single person guffawed.
Wow.
It was completely normal. The only thing I had to really contend with was the pant leg opening.
Difficult.
So you either have to go a wide leg pant where it fits over it, otherwise you're just annoyed by constant scrunching. This is
my suffer with my fucking cowboy boots, bro.
Yeah, same thing. I think maybe they should start making jeans with a cut made for boots or something like that, where you can wear them like that.
That's a really good idea.
Yeah, but you can also, if you are feeling spicy, do it with a short, but then whatever's on top has to be remarkably splashy, or you have to do like a sweatpants.
So you went with your aloe leggings and kind of just kept no stirrups though. You didn't go that far, but you just had the leggings on and it was a seamless kind of look.
No, it took a little. It wasn't first shot, first kill.
Let me ask you a question. Looks. First take, Drake. Was it a pre-style here before you took it to Napa?
It was a mental pre-style.
Okay, so you went through your Cher style closet in your little head.
Cher from Clueless.
Yes, of course, not Cher, who
singer-songwriter
is now
Cher.
grooming a 30-year-old backup dancer. So you're saying you had the look planned, and
we're both adults.
When you got there, did it change, or was it what you envisioned?
Well, the thing was, it took me a little time because I went there not wearing the Uggs. The Uggs were in the Rimowa, but
which is crazy. First of all, because that's a lot of real estate.
Tell me about it.
So you were committed to making these work for you.
But then on the way home, I felt comfortable enough to wear the Uggs on the plane, and it felt just right. But I liked wearing them with shorts, because when you wear them with a wide leg pant,
it's a lot.
It's a lot of look, especially in a size 17. You can only imagine how big an Ugg is, and it begins looking.
They're puffy by nature.
It almost encroaches on the world of costumery.
Yeah, which is a style of dressing that, unfortunately for us, you do flirt with from time to time.
I do, and it's fun because it's all what's going on in the mental. Because sometimes you're like, you know what, I will wear a fucking dumbass outfit, and because none of this matters. If this person that I'm looking at does not like the way I am dressing right now, I am A-okay with that. I will never see these people again. They will never see me again.
That's a good way to look at it. That's called fuck off style. No chrome hearts. That's just regular.
It is a fuck off style. Not everyone can be there, but I'm not always in that mindset. Sometimes I want to fit in, and I don't want to.
Sometimes you're not in rock star mindset, but luckily for everyone on your flight home today, you were feeling yourself. Hold on. I don't want to give the listeners kind of too much behind the curtain, but did you wear it with the outfit you have on right now?
No, I was wearing this top.
Okay.
But I had on some just regular trouser pants with the Uggs on.
Okay. Because Jason's wearing his extremely questionable Eckhouse Lotta shorts.
I'm only wearing these because when I got home, I was like, I'm going to put on some comfy clothes. What's the worst, ugliest thing I can
Because
wear?
I thought, because there's a line where if you're wearing the Eckhouse shorts with the Uggs, it's got to be the Telfar Uggs. I hate to break it to you, but you can't wear the kind of the stock. The stock Uggs, the GR Uggs with the Eckhouse. It's got to be the Telfar joints only.
Yeah, or the thigh highs.
Yeah,
something like
that. If
that.
you want the furry Ugg collaborative purse, we do have a nice Goat credit that I'm sure you could use to kind of get that in the collection.
We love those guys over at Goat.
Thanks to our friends over at Goat. So I'm really glad. It sounds like this weekend was a big W for Team TJ.
It was a huge W. I mean, our weekend was planned out. You wake up around 7. You make a little pour over. Unfortunately, he only had a Chemex at the house. Friend of the show, Andre, who I did a food podcast with.
I thought Andre was doing pretty well these days. What's going on?
Well, I mean, the Chemex is great if you're making coffee for your whole family or your whole squad. But my squad goal in the morning is one person. So I don't. So when I make a pour over coffee at home,
he didn't have the Breville espresso machine, or maybe some imported Japanese techniques that we are not aware of.
No,
yet?
he had an amazing. His setup was way nicer than I have. He had that the expensive kettle where you can set what temperature it is. So, he had the Chemex. He has this crazy tea set. There's timers. There's scales. There's weighing.
So you're saying,
dumping.
But it would produce too much bean for singular TJ.
It takes so long because you have this big Chemex thing. It's like the size of a flower vase or a gallon of milk or something like that. And just making one mug of coffee in that is a little ridiculous. So, it's like...
So you just drove to Starbucks, got an iced soy latte, 2 pumps caramel, and then we're back at the house in time for breakfast?
I would make 3 cups of coffee all at once, but it took me, 20 minutes to finally
Thank God you
steep and
could
pour.
cue up Malcolm Gladwell on the AirPods and kind of make it go by quicker.
I could have done that, but I took a pod media brownout.
Wow.
Yeah, all I did was watch some slow cooking television on Twitch, and then of course Sunday is game day, so we had Red Zone on all day.
Oh shit, not Red Zone. Oh, it's worth every penny though.
Yeah, but there's a Twitch television show called Fire Kitchen. Friends of the show should tune in. Twitch, I'm sure you know what it is, but you would never download the app and put it on your TV. But
no, I would never use Twitch. But this is a popular streaming program where the cooking is happening.
Well, they have their Instagram page. There's 130,000 followers. Yeah. It's big, and he's probably big on TikTok and Instagram. But the Twitch stream has 50 people watching it, but it's just some Nordic guy, or maybe he's German or Austrian, and he's out in the woods.
I think I've seen this, actually.
He films it all by himself, but it's 4K, high def, AMSR.
Shirtless or?
No, he's gorped up. He's got knives, and he's got...
Okay, so he's keeping it arky.
Yeah, he's keeping it arky. He's got a bucket hat on. There's a chin strap. There's knives and boots and cargo pants.
So this is some real man shit, not some pussy cooking.
Exactly. The whole point is he doesn't talk. There's no music, and it's just a long kind of sensual situation where he'll get here's a big crazy piece of meat, or an ostrich egg, or some gnarly odd animal. He's not just making smash burgers.
Sure.
and he'll cook it, he'll like find some volcanic rock and start a fire and put the rock on top of the fire and let it heat up as a sizzling surface. And then he'll like slowly sprinkle salt on it and smack it and rub it. Sometimes he'll put like a metal chain through it and hang it over the fire. And
so this is like Francis Mallman with an REI subscription?
It's very, very Mallman-esque.
Okay.
Everything is cooked in like 10 cups of butter and beef fat. And
is there data on this guy? Is he out? Like, what's the vibrato? Like, do we know anything about him? Or
he's not out yet, but I have my suspicions.
No, I don't mean his sexual preferences. Okay. He obviously fucks animals, but
it gets lonely out there in the jungle.
I know he's a kind of an animal guy. He loves animals.
I fucked this goat. I think we all know that. It's like a mesmerizing kind of like a very ASMR kind of thing where you just lay on the couch and you watch it. There's no commercials and it just keeps playing forever in like a TikTok kind of way. Next thing you know, 5 hours goes by.
A beautiful slow build. And then at the end, do you see him kind of devouring his catch?
He eats it, and he eats it like kind of like a perverted, disgusting way where he just takes some giant flap of beef heart or whatever that he's just cooked.
Right to the dome.
And he just like... so good. Oh. It's slutty and it's perverted.
Was this Andre's? Is this something that Andre jerks off to that he put you onto?
Of course.
Okay.
But there's dozens of other slow cooking shows or slow everything shows.
This is a perfect segue into what I watched over the.
Did you watch some programs this weekend?
Over the Thanksgiving holiday, unlike you guys who were watching some important stuff, I tuned into HBO because I wanted to get my hate watch on.
Okay.
And I'm leaving Succession and White Lotus on the table. I went straight for a cooking show called The Big Brunch, starring Canadian glasses wearer Dan Levy. Mm-hmm. He created it.
Yeah.
And then
the mind of Dan Levy.
And he's got two co-judges. One is some awful chick from Bon Appetit.
Okay.
I forgot her name. I told you her name.
Oh, Zola?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then some nerdy white guy who's like 11 Madison Park, like business side.
Okay.
Like, he's giving like Todd Oldham gay, but he's married to the chick who started Milk Bar.
Oh. So he's gayer than a real gay.
Yeah, he's eating. Yeah, he's like doesn't get any gayer. So the premise of the show is they have all of these contestants who are cooking brunch in a kitchen that looks like it's at like the Pally House Hotel. It's like Soho House meets Pally House.
Is that derogatory?
That's derogatory.
All right.
And but they all have like a kind of a purpose. They're not these classic line cooks on coke slamming some Budweisers. These are people that are trying to not only give back to their community, but maybe do it sustainably. Maybe teach children about cooking and farming and how to do that in their communities. Mm-hmm. So the overall vibe, this show is a competition show. You're supposed to want to kill your neighbor, but instead they're helping each other serve. They're clapping after everything.
Okay.
They're very encouraging. But the main takeaway of the show is Dan Levy's outfits. So Dan Levy is a known, he thinks he's like a fashion bitch. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he's coming out every episode. First of all the contestants look like shit. All of them dress like shit. Like they look terrible. There's no fashion on this show.
They're back of house uglies, not shoddies.
Yeah, there's no fashion on this show.
Of course not.
Dan Levy's coming out in like a look. Like,
of course.
Today's Loewe. Tomorrow is Miu Miu. Mm-hmm. And but what I've noticed about Dan, first of all, Dan classically doesn't dress for his body. We all know that about him. Mm-mm. He changes his glasses every day because he has a glasses brand, which I respect. But all of his pants, no matter what the look, cropped. Every single pair, cropped.
How much ankle is he showing?
Well, it depends on the footwear choice, Jason. When he's wearing some of his sneakers, there's some sock peeking out. But when he's wearing some of his boots, obviously there's a small connection that happens between the boot and the hem.
Okay.
But so the woman from it's all brunch themed, right? Mm-hmm. And there's like a bartender that makes them like the bartender comes up. She's like a crazy cool black chick with a shaved head and a nose ring, and she's like, "What are you guys feeling?" And they're like, "I don't know, maybe a Caesar." It's like our Canadian Bloody Mary. Okay, so they give
And then Dan Levy's like, a Caesar is a Bloody Mary, but from Canada.
Exactly.
It's so good.
They give like
it's giving
vibes,
flavor.
though. They're like, I'm feeling like, I don't know, like pina colada, you know? And then she comes back with like the craziest shit, you know?
I'm thinking, what if for brunch we had it's called mimosa?
Exactly. But
What
then,
is that?
But then the best part is the serious Bon App chick only has whiskey with ice. And then, so there's 3 critiques they give on this show. It's basically like, it's underseasoned. They're just, there's not enough seasoning.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
Underseasoned is the only thing they know how to, it's almost like a doll with a thing you pull. Everything is fucking underseasoned, you know? And then there's also the classic, I wish you would have done more. I wish you would you could have pushed harder on this.
I guess if I was doing 3 fingers of wild turkey for breakfast, I think everything was underseasoned too.
And then the positive is just like, they curse because it's HBO, you know, so it'll get edgy and they'll be like, this is fucking delicious, you know? And they're talking about a scone or something. So overall,
this Jack Daniel's French toast is
exactly
is fucking bomb.
There was
sauce.
my favorite contestant, Danielle from New Jersey, was the scone master. And hold on. The best part, I'll end here.
No, please don't.
She's like, first episode, she makes a scone. They're like, oh, this bitch is crazy with the scones. This is fucked up. This is the best scone I've ever had. Then later on, obviously, we're looking at episode 7. They bring a celebrity judge. I'm thinking, who could this be? Who could they get? Dan Levy's a pretty big celebrity. This is HBO Max. They bring Dominique Enzel, the cronut creator. And this guy's like a French guy who can't. He says no, he's like can't talk. He's like, that's good. He has no. And Danielle, the baker, is freaking the fuck out because she's like, I lined up for this man's cronut. Like she's ready to risk it all.
Right.
Like she's ready
like,
to take
I'm losing
off,
my shit.
She's ready to take off her fucking Madewell jumpsuit and bust it down for fucking Dominique.
It's like when I run into Kodak at the airport and I do a 16. This could make or break my career.
So everybody's like, damn, this is crazy. Like Dominique is here. Meanwhile, Dominique is literally like the most boring. He looks like he's a fucking manila envelope. This guy is giving nothing. They didn't give this guy a screen test because he made a cronut in 2017. So she does a banana bread, and they're like, "Oh shit, that's all." Dominique Enzel's here. You're gonna come with the banana bread, and I don't mean to. Spoiler alert: banana bread wasn't great.
Oh no!
You know, so she kind of fumbled the bag, and this is something I've never seen on a cooking reality program. Everybody's was so bad when Dominique was there that they were like, "You know what? We'll give you another chance.
Right.
You guys can all redo it." And that's when I got pissed off.
Yeah.
That's when I got pissed off because I was like, this show's not about winning and losing. This is about Dan Levy wearing outfits. And that's not, I want to see brunch excellence. I don't want to see Dan Levy in cropped Miu Miu. I want to see some Jack Daniel's French toast perfectly done. Yeah. I want eggs that are scrambled like I'm in France.
Yeah.
And I didn't get any of that. All I got was Dan Levy's outfits and some bad feedback from a Bon Appetit test kitchen YouTube. My feedback. So if I'm a chef, imagine you're a chef. You've been beasting for years. You have your own restaurant. Maybe you have a pop-up.
Yeah.
And your feedback is from a front of house guy, a Bon Appetit self-trained YouTuber, and an actor. Does that seem a little crazy?
And nobody can be like, not to be that person, but I may know more about what I'm cooking than you guys do.
I literally know more about what I'm cooking. I've been doing this for 10 years or whatever. So I'm a little upset with that, but I have saved the finale.
You haven't watched it yet.
We haven't watched it yet. I watched the first half. I did fall asleep at 8:45. I wasn't able to finish it. Sure. So I don't know who won.
Okay, tonight it goes down.
Tonight it's going down.
What I feel like this could be a strong influence of the Great British Bake Off on America.
The Great British Bake Off walked so Dan Levy, the big brunch, could crawl.
Yeah.
I don't know why I felt compelled to watch this, but I really loved it.
Really?
I devoured it.
But in a hate way. I can't watch any food cooking competition shows anymore because of all these reasons that you've said.
There's not one person on this show that is likable. Like, it's unbelievable. Like, there's people that have flashes of likability, but there's not one person where you're like, I'm rooting for you.
Right.
Like, you're not annoying. You're talented. You're here for the right reasons.
Rooting for no one.
Can't root for anybody. There's no one to root for. Talented. There's a guy named Daniel, very talented.
Okay.
Korean influenced. Lots of broths. You know what I mean?
Kimchi fried rice.
No, it was
scramble.
more inventive than that. I actually think he's the most talented guy on the show. He has a pop-up in Richmond. We could check. I mean, we can go check it out.
Nothing
If you
says brunch like broth. No, I mean, like, I used to love watching Top Chef and Iron Chef and all these shows because it was like, all right, we're going to get the best chefs in the world and we are going to create an environment where they can create the best food ever.
Yes.
And they are going to have a cookout and we will decide who did a better job. And that's it. And then it started turning into, we're going to give the cash prize to whoever has the most sob story.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't matter if they did a better job. It's like, oh, is your partner dying of some terminal illness? Did a hurricane hit your coffee shop?
Your restaurant closed during COVID and you decided that you were non-binary.
Yes.
So here's the 300.
Yeah.
Off rip, here's the 300 for you.
So this show was less about did you make better food and more about are you feeding more homeless people than this other person?
It wasn't the
which is cool.
It wasn't
but
the
don't
Gordon
make it a
Ramsay
cooking show.
style cutthroat cooking show that I would like. But that being said, I did watch all of it in 24 hours. So obviously it worked on me. So who am I to say?
So this was you would say that this was a kitchen nightmare for you.
It was a kitchen nightmare. I'm guessing, and I haven't talked to any of my insiders at Variety, the Hollywood Reporter, or anything. I'm guessing it's not going to get a season 2. I'm guessing.
Let's hope not. Dan, if you can't send the heat, get out of the kitchen. Leave it to the boys and girls over at Great British Bake Off. They know how to do earnest, happy, good, positive cooking competition the right way. Americans, we are not.
And what's
built
his
for
name
that.
was getting looks off in the same way that Dan wishes he could.
Oh yeah. Noel.
Yeah.
He's got his fucking skin tight pants on.
Noel's wearing like Vivienne Westwood collection vintage, like absolutely stunting.
Yeah, these are all archival pieces.
This is all archived. This is actually from Sex, Malcolm's store. I haven't seen that show. I've only seen his fits.
Oh, his fits are truly atrocious. And every single year, sometime around now, like a month after Halloween, I remind myself I need to dress like him for Halloween. But then by the time it comes around, I never do it, mainly because I don't have an extra 8,000 laying around to put this look together.
Yeah, you have to call your personal shopper at Saks to get the costume together.
Yeah, and which I do have.
I feel like Alexa Chung dressed up like him, maybe.
She did.
That's good.
She did, but she already had the fucking the YSL pointy heel witch boots.
Yeah,
and
no,
shit.
she had it all, but that's I love like a British on British costume where it's clearly a respect. She's not demeaning him anyway. She's like, I can shop my closet for this costume.
It's easy.
It's timely. It's very timely because the show is very popular.
Yeah, it's like how everyone here has a Sailor Moon costume in their closet for whatever reason, and over there they can put together
most people
a big
that I know
look.
that have that costume in their closets because they make their wife, girlfriend, or significant other dress up like that to have sex.
Let's move on. What else do we have on the docket here?
Well, we have a couple conspiracy theories to get into.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, and I want to
get into my bag.
I don't fully understand what's going on with Balenciaga.
Okay, we have Balenciaga, and then we have NFT. What's it? FTX.
FTX. Tom Brady. Giselle.
FTX. Tom Brady. Giselle. And then we'll do Balenciaga first.
Okay, so the Balenciaga thing, they did a child BDSM photo shoot, and they received a lot of.
I think that's a little bit of an exaggeration of what was going on.
The teddy bears were in BDSM, Jason. I don't know what you're into with your teddies.
Was the teddy a child? Or was it a full-grown child?
The child was holding the teddy.
Okay.
So they were so close to BDSM that made a lot of parents, including Kim Kardashian, uncomfortable.
Yeah. I don't like it.
But
this whole
then
thing
we were sent a TikTok.
Vetmont would never do this,
We
for the record.
were sent a TikTok by a listener, and she was like, yo, check this shit out.
Yes.
We both checked it out. This TikTok by like a mom in Memphis, which makes no sense, is basically
She has the
zooming
time.
in on the Balenciaga photo shoot, saying that the paperwork that's used as a prop in the Balenciaga photo shoot is like about basically skirting child pornography laws.
Right. It would be like if Miu Miu does an abortion ad campaign and they have Roe v. Wade printed up
In the
and
background.
strewn
And if
about,
you
yeah.
zoom like an eagle-eyed TikToker, so now but Balenciaga has
If you don't want me to hunt, don't lay the Easter eggs around the yard.
exactly.
That's what I say.
I've got time today. But now there's some basically now Balenciaga's saying we're suing the people who did this for $25 million, and people are like, bro, you did this. Like, who the fuck are you suing? But I guess there's maybe like a prop stylist or whatever, who
Right,
I don't
right,
exactly understand. But now the other line of thinking that I've seen on the World Wide Web, all a ploy. This was all
right.
planned. This was all
This is all an elaborate marketing scheme to get attention. No press is bad press.
Yes.
And let's see how far we
Kim
can push the
Kardashian
envelope.
was forced to comment today saying that, like, I was disgusted. I've spoken to the Balenciaga team. I do think they've understood the wrongdoing. I don't know what the future holds for myself.
For my partnership with this brand.
Yeah.
I think that
As a known conspiracy theorist, as a Bush did 9/11 guy, where do you fall?
okay. I think it's going to be either two routes. Either what you said was it was all an orchestrated thing, and Balenciaga knew exactly what they were doing because they had to know to a certain extent what they were doing
Sure.
because,
They hired the people to do it.
and also they signed off on images that have a lot to go through.
Yeah.
Where like even if it's just a picture of a model on a white background, that has to get run through.
200 people are looking at this and retouching and approving.
Yes,
Sure.
every little nook and cranny.
Even just an up close of Bella's torso is going to go through hours.
I agree.
And I don't love to work, but if they, I would do that.
You could zoom if you have to. Zoom.
If I have to, I will.
I think it's either that they're like, let's see how far we can go, because also the world of like things that are taboo, I think that child pornography is the one thing that you can't come back from.
Well, except in France, which is, I think that's the interesting. I think that there is a little bit of a disconnect. Like obviously Balenciaga and Dim, they're masters of this shit, like masters of marketing. Like it's unbelievable. But I wonder if sometimes the European view of things is
They're a little more laissez-faire.
it skews the behavior, and it's worked until now until it doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess it's interesting that you said that about, they seem to be okay with it. But it's the one thing that where it's just like you can't come back from that.
No.
Like you could kill, you can ruin people's lives, you can take money from
Well, hold on,
millions
unless
of
you're
people.
Michael Jackson. He's clearly fine. I've seen some wheat paste this week for his new album. So he's fine. Because like I said, the best thing you can do is die.
Yeah.
But so I think
Well, there's that. And the other angle is like you see the like the old Disney animation cells and like Marlboro and Camel cigarettes where somebody really sneaks in an Easter egg.
Yeah.
Where it's like, Little Mermaid.
gay
has-
sex and Little Mermaid,
There's stuff like that, and they'll draw like sort of abstract outlines of penises and
Classic.
genitalia, and that stuff will sneak past the editorial eye and get through,
Yes.
and that's one thing. But all of these things, all of these Easter eggs are very overt. It's literally just like, here is a picture of the thing that
these
is really
eggs
bad.
these eggs ain't hidden that well.
These eggs ain't hidden, and like they changed the name of Balenciaga on the caution tape. They spelled Balenciaga with the 2 A's to say Ball, which is Baal, who is I guess an ancient god of sacrificing children.
I think they might have pushed it too far, and I think that they'll be fine because
People love Balenciaga.
people love
too much.
Balenci,
And you could also just pretend like you don't know what's going on, and you don't.
Well, it is a lot of information, and it's required me to watch a TikTok, and that's further than I wanted to take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that, I guess what what could be likely is there really was an art director somewhere. I mean, it is plausible that someone was like, I'm going to stir things up.
Yeah.
I'm going to drop some things in there, and there's a good chance that all that stuff won't be cross-checked. Like, if you just have 20,000 things in the background, you're not going to look at everything. There's little stuff that could be missed, and he gets it through, or they get it through. And then, but can that person actually be sued for $25 million? I don't think they can.
Well, I think like a lot of lawsuits in this beautiful country, it's merely to look serious, like I'm doing something about this. Mm-hmm. But I think I feel like this might just be we're so big and we flew too close to the sun and we're going to apologize and we're going to keep it moving. Because I do think no one will actually care after the end of the day. And it's like, the deniability is tough to find.
Or it could be, if you want to put on our 5D chess hat, this is a sort of sneaky move because the only people that are really going to complain about this on a large level, like the Tucker Carlsons and the church and all these people who are very vocal against
I'm waiting for the Pope to comment, actually.
Or the Pope. Mm-hmm. The people who are going to get the most excited about this are people who have been either accused of being a child predator or sort of a spokesperson for people who are child predators.
The Catholic Church has said they're burning all of their Balenciaga.
Right. Closeted politicians, church members, all those people. This is sort of this is a red herring bait for them to take, where it's like, he who cast the whatever and he who point the loudest at this problem, those are the people who are really actually doing it. So it's maybe meant to sort of you throw a little
smoke out the real ones.
Smoke out the real ones.
So you're saying, okay,
he who doth protest the most have CP on the USB.
This is a good theory. So you're saying that Balenciaga is doing the work of the FBI and kind of smoking out high profile.
They're not doing the work of the FBI. They're doing the work for the FBI.
Okay.
The liberal FBI.
Well, of course. And that, I don't want to tangle with those guys. I'll tell you that.
So these are just, we're living in a culture war. And, this is Hiroshima.
It's war.
This time it's war. This is the cultural war being escalated where, because like the nuclear weapon in a war, that's the trump card. That's the final thing. You can't come back from that. Once you do that, everything changes. And this is that.
This is a good theory. I can't wait to watch this play out. I knew Big TJ would have one of his third eye theories, and this one is one of your better ones.
What a shame that the culture wars will end up, the very last days before we're all evaporated by whatever digital clouds of.
I'll be dripping in my Balenci till the day I fucking die. I'm on my Quavo.
This can only, I would say. So you're saying buy the dip for Balenciaga?
Yeah, exactly.
This could be another stock
not the drip, the dip. But yeah, that puts us perfectly in charge.
And also, really quick before you move on to the last talking point, I think Lil Uzi Vert's silence has been deafening these last few days.
I demand a comment from Uzi. I don't know his legal name, or I would say it right here. And we will be waiting, and we will not be streaming any of your songs on Spotify, Apple Music, or Tidal until you kind of tell us what you think about this. And it's especially important to hear from him because he actually looks like a child. So I think that's kind of why we need comment from him. He could have gotten wrapped up in this,
Yeah, so many times when they're at the Balenciaga Eyes Wide Shut parties, he has to have his, not him, he's cool. He's like, hey, no, I'm
good. No, chill. The other theory that I was introduced to from friend of the show Andrews today.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Andrew Steele.
He's like, have you seen this? I'm like, no. He's like, it's really good. And it's a TikTok, once again, where a woman has
it all happens on TikTok.
Like a highlighted, like a timeline, like a printed out, like a serious college level notes about Tom and Giselle, saying that they had so much money. I'll paraphrase. They had so much money, maybe most of their wealth tied up in the FTX thing. This is Bernie Madoff levels.
Yes.
And they were basically, their divorce is merely a way to retain as much money as possible from this FTX thing, because they were deep ties. They were in the Bahamas right before it all went down. There's all, she's got all this kind of, you know, quote unquote proof about how they like place these stories with the New York Post and they don't when they don't want, you know, blah blah blah. And I want to believe this one especially, but Tom Brady is dumb.
Yeah. But the people that manage his wealth might
I
not
want
be.
to think so, but if they were that smart, they wouldn't have put 98% of T12 in the crypto guy who's 31 years old. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have done that.
Right. Unless everyone was doing it and it was a thing.
I think a lot of people were doing it, but
which is a deflection.
But I think there could be some truth to this. I mean, I think that, but the other thing.
Well, I guess let's explain. So basically, this service, which was like
this is like a huge story.
It's a huge story, but it's still a confusing thing that a lot of people don't know about. People don't know what that was up until 2 weeks ago. You know, it
was like I don't fully understand. I think it was just like a crypto VC, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like a service where people can hold their crypto money.
But it was the kind of thing where this guy had raised, you know, like every other. It's just like the.
But he has his own VC. He was hemorrhaging money, and then he dipped into deposits from the users of this service. Basically, like Bank of America is losing money, so they take all the money from the people that deposited that, move that money to his VC fund to do other stuff, or to just like pay.
They named it. They like bought a stadium,
right?
Like that's how big this was, you know.
Right.
But I think,
and he ended up losing $8 billion. The whole thing's tanking
in one day.
Right.
I just think that when we look back on this crypto thing and how so many of you fucking bozos acted like if you don't get in on this and the ugly fucking digital art, you're getting left in the dust, bro. You're going to be poor. You're going to be you're going to be waiting in line for free cheese and bread downtown. And look at you fucking now.
Do you think if you were this age right now, when the internet first came out, you would be an internet denier?
No, because the internet served...
Because there were a lot of internet deniers.
Totally, but the internet to me would have served a greater purpose than like... And also, I know this sounds crazy, and maybe it is. It seems easier to understand on paper, even at the time.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Like now it's like, it's decentralized. Like, what the fuck does that mean? It's decentralized.
Because before it was like it's a world wide web, and you could surf the internet,
also,
and you could send electronic mail.
Let me tell you the main difference. World Wide Web got titties. Guess what doesn't?
No, it's true.
Crypto might have titties, but it's a digital avatar, so it's not quite as exciting. Like, I think that the fact that pornography was available on the internet, first generation, you got email and pornography, that is so much more appealing than, you have a wallet on your phone where numbers move around, but you never get to touch anything. You can't go to an ATM.
And if you want to take out your $650 million... maybe at a different time.
Can you guys call us back? We're really slammed right now. Can you call us back?
So Tom Brady and Giselle, they saw this coming, and they decided. The theory is that they decided to get to legally divorce themselves, even if they weren't planning on it, and they're going to stay together. They have to maybe pretend like they're being divorced to move money around,
to get money hidden. But I think also. I don't believe this one. I think Tom Brady is really stupid. I think he listened to whoever's money guy was. This happened, and Giselle was like, oh, no. Giselle was just like, hell no. I'm going to go fuck a jiu-jitsu instructor in Costa Rica. Fuck you. You're a dumbass. Like, I could have lost everything or a substantial amount of my income. Like... And you went back to play football. You already are CTE'd out. No question. You're not home with our little badass kids. Like, what's the point? You're not rich. You're brain dead, and you ain't raising our kids. That's crazy, bro.
So what do you think is going to happen? Do you think that she is going to just permanently move to Costa Rica for 3 years until it blows away?
I think. I don't know. I also think people like Giselle, because she's from Brazil, is like, I think you can always go back home and be like beloved. She's got somewhere to go. Tom Brady has got nowhere to go. Tom Brady goes to Boston, he gets jumped in the Dunkin' Donuts. Tom Brady goes to Tampa, they run him over with a fucking lifted 350. He can't go anywhere.
Only American chicks find him hot, or found him hot.
Barely. He looks like there's nothing between the eyes. You know what I'm saying? He looks like he's truly built to throw touchdowns, and anything else, it's like, he like can't put the words together.
Right. He has a hard time putting a square in a round peg. And
but he's had a tough go.
Of colors and stuff.
Bro, you're married to a supermodel. You got these kids. You got the doctor scamming you for $1 million to keep your steroids right. You're losing. You're 45 years old. You're getting fucking taken out of the knees by fat fucking linebackers. It's tough, dude. It's over for him.
You ever been hit by a Samoan guy? Not pretty.
Well, I mean, it was in a spa, so it was different.
It'll leave a mark. I think what Tom should do. He did lose $500 million, blah blah blah, but he still has $100 million in real estate holdings.
He's good.
He has enough money to live on for the rest of his life. And because he's been playing football since the 70s, basically, he has decades of career under his belt. There are so many, the same way that Charles Manson is married in jail and 10,000 people want to fuck Jeffrey Dahmer.
It'll be no problem.
He can go somewhere there is just a badass 38-year-old, just dumb blonde chick somewhere in Oklahoma.
No, bro, it's
who's
called,
like, I don't care about any of the stuff you did. You can cheat on me, do whatever you want.
Bro, it's the lead bartender at Houston's.
Oh yeah, okay.
In Fort Lauderdale.
That's
it's like he's got to go tiger mode.
But he needs to cut his loss. Just get him because if you get something like that, it's like it's like getting a golden retriever puppy. It's like this person has been idolizing you and has been in love with you and obsessed with you since they were 10 years old. You can do no wrong in their eyes, and she's just going to treat you like a king, cook and clean and do whatever you want. And you just buy a boat, you go fishing, you do your hit classes, and just enjoy the rest of your days.
Maybe Tom could become a low-key berries instructor in one of the tertiary markets, make a little extra cash. You know what I mean?
I don't do it for the money. I need a little money, but
I just love it, man. I just get a lot from it.
He could, because people still want, obviously this could be setting up for a book or for a Netflix
deal.
Tom
Brady is going to be filthy rich and successful for the rest of his life, just like Tiger Woods, because we forgive this country. Athletes are closer to God than anyone else. We will forgive you. Tiger Woods has fucked up countless times. Nothing that bothers me, obviously. I don't give a shit. But the fact that regular ass God-fearing Americans forgive Tiger Woods for being on Vicodin and wrecking his car and cheating on his hot wife, that's crazy. No one else gets that kind of grace from the American public. No one.
1,000%.
No one.
It's true.
And Tom Brady, obviously his crimes are lesser in the eye of not only me, but I think the rest of
he doesn't really have any crimes.
No, he hasn't anything wrong. He's just stupid.
He just got caught up.
He got caught up in the crypto craze. At least Bernie Madoff made it look good, man. He had the barber. He had all the Belgian loafers.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, he made it look good. These crypto guys look like shit. They look like guys that are, they look like guys that live in Costa Rica by choice because they're co-working.
Yeah, we wanted Enron to win. We don't
100%.
want. That's the main thing is because like when you see like, oh, the internet's not going to make it, and you're like, oh, these nerds, I don't like them. That was back in the day, and it was just a simple nerds versus jocks, and now the nerddom and the jockdom has just magnified and quadrupled so much to where it's like there's so many levels, and the spectrum of nerdery is so deep where these crypto people there is obviously a small, not small, but like there's a decent chance that crypto will become this big thing the same way the internet became a big thing, and all these other things will become a big thing. It will control our lives, and it will be the decision that everyone should have made. But you really don't want that to happen because those are the dorkiest people in the world. And if those are the people, it's like we have Elon Musk, running Twitter right now. And everyone's like, oh, these types of fucking people should not have. Like our world sucks because they're in power.
Well, I got a question for you then. just quickly before we wrap up here. So people are saying, I'm leaving Twitter. I can't deal with this anymore. This is a madman. People still buying Teslas. What's the what is it because it's electric and they've like decided that that's okay because that's like good for the environment, or is it a classic tale of we choose what we want to care about and broadcast loudly?
I think that people just love an electric car, or the sustainability thing, the environmental thing. I hate Elon, but he makes a good product. Blah blah blah. And I think that Elon still has millions and, if not billions of people who are still devout followers, and they love what he's doing.
I guess he's not like letting Trump into the Model 3 or whatever so people can get... But the outrage, the absolute blind stupidity of people being like, I'm going to leave this platform because the new owner is here and he's bad. Mm-hmm. But then they got 2 Teslas charging out back, taking fucking... Timmy to soccer practice just seems a little hypocritical to me. Just a little bit.
I agree with that.
But also, like, just if you're like, oh, I don't actually, I like this car, it's fire. You know what I mean? If it's just like, oh, I like the gull wing doors and it's cheaper than a Lambo, that's fine. Own it. But you can't be.
Yeah, you got to own it.
You cannot stand on the mountaintop screaming about this man's ills and how bad he is while also being on a waiting list for a car you don't need.
I think that people are treating Twitter as a utility and not an elective application that nobody has to use.
Yeah.
And I think that's the issue. It's been so ingrained in our lives because it is where the world goes when things happen.
It's news.
If there's a major event going on our planet Earth that we live in, we all go to Twitter. We would have never thought that would happen when, we all signed up for Twitter, 14 years ago so we could post pictures of our breakfast. And now it controls everything. But, it's like if you don't like Twitter and you want to stop using it, you can just stop using it. And you don't have to say it. You don't have to virtue signal.
And that being said, follow Them Jeans on Mastodon. He's getting a lot of good stuff off over there. He's really able to kind of be himself a little more. It's just unregulated. You know what I mean? It just feels like there's no overlords.
I can let my hair down.
Like seeing what we're doing. It feels free.
But to, as you go up and up, everyone hates TikTok and they're like, oh, this is an application that China is using to destroy our culture and beat us in these wars. It's a deflection from that. Now everyone's like, TikTok is the best. I love it. It's so awesome. And it hasn't changed. It's only doing more damage. It's only taking more of our data and selling it and blah, blah, blah. Hey. There's going to be a time where we're going to yearn for the days when American companies like Facebook and Zuck and Meta and Twitter, those are the ones who are stealing our data. Yeah. I want the theft to be domestic.
That's right.
I'm a nationalist when I'm being robbed of all of my information.
That's good.
And all the soul and life is being sucked out of me.
That's good to know. And thank you for making that declaration. God bless America. How long gone? How long gone after dark? I'm going to let Jason roll himself into a shower. I could tell he needs to get that kind of.
It's giving ick.
It's giving.
But
ick.
Also, really quick. Speaking of fitness, I discovered one thing that you are going to be interested in. It's not something that is new. You've probably heard of it. Okay. And other, GQ wrote a story on it a few weeks ago. But are you familiar with hostage tape?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. A guy, actually, Hunter and I were training at the gym, and a guy who Hunter knows came over. He's like, "You guys heard this hostage tape shit?" Mm-hmm. He's like, "Do you think people would think I was crazy if I wore it in here?" And we were both like, Yes. Yeah. So for the uninitiated, you put tape over your mouth to force you to breathe through your nose because that's the best thing for us and will help with performance. This is also a sleep. It's also recommended for sleep.
Yes. Yeah. So from what I've learned, the nose is a muscle just like every other part of your body that can atrophy and it can be strengthened.
And with a nose like yours, we got to get
I'm leaving money on the table.
You're not deadlifting enough with that schnoz.
And so I did. I used hostage tape when I slept last night for the first time.
So you've purchased some tape. There's tape in this house.
Well, my friend's house who I was staying at, his partner, she's an esthetician and she has she just knows a lot about, skin and breathing and dehydration. So she said, "Get taped, bitch." She's been taping her mouth every night for a long time, not for any fitness goals, but she was told by her doctor that her nose muscles are weaker maybe and like she needs to do that. But
so she didn't do a lot of coke when she was younger.
But you I don't know. But you leave so much moisture, like so much moisture leaves the mouth while you sleep. If you sleep, if you're a mouth breather.
So it's good for the skin because it keeps the hydration.
So we're up in Napa and it's cold and it's dry. The elevation, maybe there's a heater on and that's making you even more dry, and you're sucking in that dry air, and it's just so when you wake up, you've got your lips are chapped, you got cotton mouth, you just feel so dehydrated. And I slept with my mouth taped up, and you breathe through your nose only. And you don't have any of that cotton mouth, any of that chapped lip.
Because you feel instantly better when you woke up?
Yeah, I mean, like every day that we were staying there untaped, I wake up and I'm just like, ugh. I mean, obviously it's because I'm dehydrated from alcohol.
Yeah, but I know, I mean, it makes sense logically. So do you have any, or did you just use hers?
I used hers, but you can also use. I have that tape where you like do
the
like
physio
a line.
tape?
Yeah, so you can also use physio tape, but I ordered some just. There is a brand called Hostage Tape, but you have to like order it from their website, and it has to be a subscription.
Oh,
so I just didn't do that. But you can just go on Amazon, and there's 5,000 different mouth tapes. But I would try it. I'll cut you off a square.
Yeah, cut me off a square like it's a nice little brownie you worked on all afternoon.
And it's great if if one of your partners snores.
I obviously sleep like an angel.
I don't know.
I don't snore, even though I'm big. Drinking makes you snore.
It is giving snore looking at you, but I believe that you don't. But it's something that I look forward to doing, but I could never wear, hostage tape when I'm at the gym.
Oh, I could definitely do it at the gym. Oh. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
But when I'm at home doing my little yoga lattes or whatever it is.
Yeah, when you're stretching for 2.5 hours and saying I just worked out, you could definitely wear it then.
No. I'm doing brolic holds and positions.
Brolic holds and positions. Thank you for joining us on How Long Gone After Dark. More podcasts this week. We got some good guests coming up. We got so many activities coming up to break down this podcast. Our dance card is full.
That's right. And Seattle folks, we have I think it's like 3/4 of the tickets sold, which is great. We are going to have a couple pieces of unique merchandise available.
We're offering you unique merchandise opportunities. So put on your fucking Patagonia and make it out of the house.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Have a blessed week.
I am a real dog boy, I might mix up the Dickies with Gucci and Fendi. My keys type Balenciaga and G-Star my jeans just to hold up the gas. My chopper bad bitch, I might buy some titties. And I fuck with bloods if I ain't red like Chip. And I fuck with Crips, they got hustle like this. And that blicky be with me, you won't catch me sleeping. Don't tempt me, cause I really up and get busy. Ride with extensions, got 30s and 50s. Too many shots to be missing. Bitch with the young niggas turned in the city. I hit a bitch with a quickie, skirt off and I'm dipping. I leave the hoe, then she text me, she hate when the hoe eat the Jimmy. She know not to kiss me. She swallow that cream like she eating that crispy. Percocet 30, this bitch got me itching. These rappers be actors like they was on Disney. I'm thumbing through commas, blue hunters, pink 50s. My jewelry put summer, I'm flying, I'm crib. Roger Vinci and Fendi, and Louis and Gucci. I'm gangster and bougie. Rock Balenciagas with Dickies. Choosy like Susie, your bitch wanna do. Can't make love to a groupie, I bust me a quickie. Might fuck up the city with pounds of the Keisha like Brandy Moesha. My trap fat like Nicki. Big worm on the doty, I'm serving that smoke. When it comes to the gas, keep your grass like I'm Stanley. Hellcats and Maybachs, we drive them like Camry. My diamonds canary, my wrist Ben and Jerry. I'm shining, you see me, might blind you like Stevie. Put diamond VVs in my tooth like a fairy. Beat the pussy like Springer, she calling me Jerry. Keep a yellow bone.